Hello, Esky fans, and welcome to another Carl Hager Green and Gold Gridiron Show. I'm Corey Larage.
And I'm Meg Morrison. We're all decked out in pink, just like the CFL will be this weekend. And what a great game it was on Friday. Stamps was outstanding, and so was Chris Thompson on defense. But I think what everyone is missing out on is the fact that we were basically the good luck charms.
Absolutely. We were cheering on the team from the tailgate section. We had never been in the tailgate before, so the only conclusion I can come to is that we're the good luck charms when we're in the tailgate section. So definitely this week's win, you can give us all the credit.
Hey, good job on that one, buddy.
Dude, good game. To kick off today's show, we figured we'd introduce to you one of our players with the longest names, Donny Oramasionwu. I'll let Don introduce himself.
Oramasionwu. That's my last name, Donny Oramasionwu. Silent. I don't know. I didn't make it. That's how my parents taught me to say it, so I don't know. You know, today we had on the pad, so there's a little more contact. We get most of our work in on days like this, so just kind of save your body, but you bang once a week, so it's good. At the beginning, when we were just us, as individual, we got our warm up in. We go through some of our schemes, and we just get warmed up. And like I said, we had the pads on today, so I'm just getting my body ready for contact. That's called inside run. So again, that's another period where we're really banging. We're just working on our run reads and our fits with the offensive line. So yeah, there's a lot of contact, like you guys probably you saw. We're going through plays. We're going through what Hamilton's going to be doing. So we're just going through what we're going to see on Saturday. After that, we did the team period, where the run period is just offensive line and D-line and running backs. Team period, the receivers come in, the DBs come in, and we're just we're going through. It's not just run; it's also passes mixed in too. So we're a little bit more on edge, and we got to make our reads a little bit smoother. And inside run, okay, it's just run. You got to hunker down, you got to stay low, because you get a double team, like two people coming at you, people are attacking you pretty much. On team, you got to look at the O-line. They might, instead of just run read, they might pass block you also. So you have to make more reads on the run. So you just incorporate everything into the team period, as opposed to run. It's just run. They went into special teams after, and then we went on the side, and we just went through more schemes and everything. Then we had another team period after that. Just working on schemes again, on our line stunts and just things like that.
Amazingly enough, we shot every one of our POV segments with the exact same camera the entire season, but no segment was harder on the equipment than that one there with Donny O. So I'll tell you what, next POV will be with the cheer team to give it a bit of a break.
Yeah, that's a good call. Speaking of cheer team, at the beginning of the season, there was a special halftime show involving the Eskiminis. Well, up next, we're going to talk to sophomore cheer team member Riley about coaching them, and we'll see what else she's been up to.
Hi, I'm Riley, and this is my second year on the Eskimos cheer team. I actually first saw the Eskimo cheer team at the Capital X Parade, and that's kind of when I was like, oh my gosh, I really want to do that. So I started going to open gym, I started looking more into it, and finally I met Diane, and just really changed my world. I kind of did everything. I did karate for 5 years, I danced, I skated, I swam, and then I started cheerleading when I was in grade 7, and I kept going, and this is my 7th year cheerleading, 2nd year on Eskimos. So. My favorite part is the challenge, going out, and I love the fans. They're so great, going out in the field and just cheering and doing cheers and getting feedback from them, and they're like, oh yes, you're great. It's really just fantastic looking up into the stands and seeing that. Today is Eskiminis, Eskaladies, and we work with them. We do a bunch of dances and for the halftime show. It's a lot of fun. We get to spend all this time with these little kids. They get to spend time with us, and then they come out with us on the field, and it's a lot of fun. And you really get to know these kids, and it's really nice. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work too. They're just so on the go. They're always moving around. They're so peppy. Sometimes it's hard to catch up, but it's a great reminder of why I do what I do. I guess it's just the reward, seeing them come and say, oh my gosh, we get to work with these amazing cheerleaders. Just knowing that we're a role model for them, and we get to have them look up to us. It really helps make decisions in life. I really don't like to do things. I'm like, well, what these little kids, what would they think, right? Outside of Eskimos, I go to school at Grant Mac. I'm a full-time student and I take holistic health practitioning right now. It's a lot of fun. It's a really different course, but it's really eye-opening to a lot of things that are out there, so I really enjoy it. I think it's my love for helping people. I really like helping people, and I wanted to find a way to kind of do that fits my schedule, and this program really had that. I like reflexology. I can like massage the feet, do things with that, and I plan on going into massage therapy after this.
The Carl Hager Green and Gold Gridiron Show will be back after this. Welcome back to the Carl Hager Green and Gold Gridiron Show. Earlier this year in draw play, we saw that slot back Cary Kach is quite artistic as he ripped through the cards, bringing him to the top of the leaderboard.
I think he's a bit of an artistic type because not only does he have his drawing skills, but actually he loves acting as well. He took some drama classes in high school. So this week we figured we'd introduce him to Edmonton's Rapid Fire Theatre as he takes one of their workshops.
So we'll learn each other's names. So let's just go around the circle and quickly say our names. I'm Amy.
I'm Matt. I'm Joe. I'm Neil. I'm Cary.
Cool. Rapid Fire Theatre is Edmonton's longest running improv theatre. We have been around for 33 seasons. We run public workshops all year round here at the Citadel, and they're really useful for just, lots of people come for different reasons. We have a totally wide range of people that take our workshops, but the coolest thing is that you don't need any experience. Like the level 1 workshop has people who are like 16 years old to 75 years old from all walks of life who have done all different things.
Freak out!
We're always in front of a camera. We're doing something. We're on the field. We're celebrating. We're doing interviews, pre-game, post-game, during the week. I think it's a good tool to have some arts background because when you get in front of a camera, you know, you don't want to be saying the wrong thing, or you kind of need to be schooled a little bit on using the right words and just kind of having the spotlight on you and being able to articulate what you're trying to say. And I'm an astronaut.
He's really coming at it with a positive attitude. So it's like the same as any sport where you want to attack it and you want to succeed and you want to do it well. So he was able to come and be positive and just take direction, and he was really awesome to work with.
I'm Hulk Hogan.
My brother and sister were both singers and slash comedians. My brother's super funny. I think that had an influence on me, and then me growing up in that type of singing atmosphere. My family's always singing something.
The turntable.
I took choir in high school. I took drama growing up. Nothing too serious. I still was playing every sport that I could get my hands on. I went to a smaller school in high school, so that helped. The barriers between weren't as defined. And I think my senior year, I recruited 40 guys from the football team to join the choir. First I told them it was an easy A, but it ended up not being easy for some of them. And then from there, we kind of just expanded. The whole class just erupted. And from then, I think it's kind of been a trailing effect, like football players have been in the choir now.
Is this your contact lens?
These dinner theaters in high school where they, you know, took 6 months to plan, and I ended up doing like 12 to 15 shows. So we got better as you went along. You know, at the end of it is like nail down everything that you kept either messing up on or just not getting quite correct. So it was something that I enjoyed doing, but I don't think it was something I could end up making some money doing. But you never know.
I hate you!
We have an audience that is generally very young, very excited, and they get to like participate in the show, kind of like a football game. What are the similarities between improv and football? And I don't know very much about football, but I would say that I think he's really adaptable.
I can't go there. It's hurting my head.
You can do this.
I'm a little nervous, but I think I'm gonna like it. Once I get into it, I think I'll enjoy it, but it might take a minute for me to kind of warm up.
It's not that I just use my fingers. I use all parts of my face, my nose, my ears, everything is used.
I see an eyebrow, yes.
Yes, it's all used to create this art.
You are going to be so famous.
I think he'll be great. Like, obviously, especially the audience will be totally behind him. Whenever you put anyone on stage and you say, they've never done this before, the audience is immediately like excited to see them and also so supportive. The element of surprise is really important in improv, and I think it's cool. The audience is going to be like, he's a football player, and so he gets to come on stage and be like intelligent, funny, creative, all those things, and just kind of blow them away with that.
And it is a sculpture of the legendary wide receiver, Cary.
Yes, it looks just like me. I thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah.
It is just going to be displayed for all to see forever.
We're putting it in Calgary. I'm really excited about it.
That was great, and make sure to tune in next week as we put Cary in front of a Citadel crowd for one of Rapid Fire Theater's performances. So Smokin' Joe Burnett is here with us this week for our interview on the show. We're going to talk about breast cancer and women's cancer awareness, and this is something that's personal with you because you have actually some personal experience with cancer and has affected parts of your family.
Right, definitely. You know, I lost, I think, two of my family members, my pops and my aunt. You know, she passed away with cancer, and it was one where it struck the family real tough because my aunt, she hid it for the longest time. You know, she was diagnosed, and then after she was diagnosed, she said everything was okay. But shortly after that, a year, we lost her. You know, it was one where she would give anything for anybody in the world. You know, she was one where she supported the family. She was the talker. She was the gossip person in our family and whatnot, and she just covered up cancer to the point where we thought she was okay, and deep down inside she was struggling. So it was one where she didn't ask for help, but when she needed it, it couldn't be given because it was too late, you know. And it just took the family, you know, on a roller coaster because she was a strong lady, a real strong lady, and had a lot of heart, but she didn't want the family to know deep down inside. So
I imagine events of awareness are something that's important for you even more so because of the fact that it's important for people to talk about it, I guess.
No question. Anytime something is feel abnormal or strange or whatnot, you should speak out. You should speak out and say something because it's, you know, it's life or death. It's a matter of you know, life or death. It's emergency. It's, you know, rushing someone in and whatnot. So I think you should always say something to someone, a close friend, you know, brother, sister, loved one, at any time when something's wrong.
Because it's not just affecting your own life, but the people that love you as well, right?
Of course, no question.
So I know that players around the CFL are going to be wearing, you know, pink with their jerseys and stuff like that. Do you have anything else that you're going to be wearing that's going to be pink? I know sometimes guys get shoelaces or whatever.
I was just gonna say I got some I got shoelaces actually. I got some wristbands and some gloves as well. So cool. I'll be decked down in my pink.
Appreciate that, Smokin' Joe, really do. And Dwayne Vanneau is here with us as well to talk about some of the details of what is going to be happening around the stadium and for the games.
Yeah, so the game on the 13th, obviously in general, is our pink game. So there's going to be a lot of pink awareness going on. You're going to see a lot of pink, and we're doing a pre-game party as well again, just like the September 22nd game in the Field House. So there'll be an opportunity to come early, and that's because we're doing our Pinktoberfest after the game. And it's really all about awareness and raising money. And last year, our team didn't have a home game. We were on the road, but we sort of snuck ours in anyway, and we raised over $100,000 for cancer charities,
which was the most out of any other team.
Most out of any other team. So this year we have a home game, and we're really trying to step it up. And it's all, you know, like Joe said, it's all about awareness and then also raising money to battle these horrible diseases. And you know, that's really it. And so we encourage people to wear pink to the game and show the awareness there. And there's going to be some auctions available, and there'll be little opportunities to raise some money, but it's really about awareness.
Absolutely, and hopefully at the same time, like you said, we can eclipse that $100,000 mark.
Yeah, you know, the competitive side here now says we want to beat everyone again, but
it's for a good cause.
It's for a good cause, right. And you know, also when it kicks into November as well. Last year, our team really supported Movember, and we're doing that again as well. So it's again, it's a good cause, and you know, just having a player like Joe here telling his story that's why we're doing it.
Thanks very much, Dwayne, and thanks, Smokin' Joe, once again. I really appreciate both of you guys being here and talking about it. We'll be back right after this on the Carl Hager Green and Gold Gridiron Show. Welcome back to the Carl Hager Green and Gold Gridiron Show.
I keep seeing our shoulders raise more and more as we're going here. It's a little chilly.
It's a little cold, but I'll tell you what, this is fall normal weather for Edmonton, and this is how we get green and gold to the core. You gotta build it up.
Yeah, just bring your mittens or your man gloves like Corey has on. I tell you what, let's warm up next. We'll go into the Coffin Corner with Burke Dales.
Okay, Corey and Meg, you're talking about how cold it's supposed to be outside and all that. You need to come to the Coffin Corner and join Burke Dales because it's always warm and toasty in the Coffin Corner. Let me tell you that much for free. It's on the house, free of charge. We've got a very interesting and special guest with us today. One of the most elusive, one of the most powerful, one of the most speedy, great-handed, wide receivers, young receivers in the Canadian Football League, Nate Coehoorn. Pleasure to have you on the Coffin Corner today.
Thanks for having me, Burke.
Couple of questions. We're gonna kind of give you the off the field, the other side of Nate in a few minutes. But let's start off with a serious question. Nate played with the Calgary Dinos. Phenomenal football program run by Coach Neil. What's your most memorable moment as a Dino?
Probably making it to the national championship and playing in front of that big crowd at Laval. That was huge. That was good times.
Huge accomplishment, making it to the Vanier. If you weren't a professional football player, what profession would you choose? You have the following three to choose from. You're the lead singer in a boy band, you are a hairdresser in a top beauty salon, or you are a professional figure skater. Which profession and why?
Lead singer in a boy band. Those guys.
Solid.
Yeah, those guys just travel the world and they're just the men.
You're on a deserted island. You can choose one person to be, no immediate family members, one person, dead or alive, male or female. Who would it be and why?
I'd have to say Jesus. Because, on a deserted island, he could turn water into wine, and he can walk on water, so we'd be getting off the island.
Best answer on the Coffin Corner yet to date. Favorite movie of all time?
Dumb and Dumber, 100%.
Lloyd Christmas. There's a movie produced of Nate Coehoorn's life. You have the option of choosing one of these three guys to play the leading role as Nate Coehoorn. Neil Patrick Harris, better known as Doogie Howser, MD. Dustin Diamond, better known as Screech off of Saved by the Bell. Or Justin Bieber, who and why?
Probably Screech.
Screech.
Just because he's kind of goofy and kind of like that. I'm kind of like that.
Phenomenal answer. Phenomenal answer. If you could go to any concert tonight, who headlines and why?
Guns N' Roses, best band of all time.
Very, very top. Solid answer. Okay, give me one song on your iPad that you would never play in front of the guys on this football team in the locker room. You would never play it in your vehicle. You'd be completely embarrassed if Etienne Laguerre knew exactly the song that was on your iPad. Which song would it be?
Katy Perry, Peacock.
It's completely offsides. Give me the most embarrassing moment in your football career.
In high school, I made Team Alberta, and the first play that was supposed to go to me, I ran 30 yards offside, and I didn't know it.
That's extremely, extremely embarrassing. Your favorite football player of all time?
Probably Chad Johnson.
Ocho Cinco.
Yep.
Favorite hockey player, good Canadian boy, favorite hockey player of all time?
Sidney Crosby.
Keeping it Canadian, we love that. Okay, most prefer to see three people in lingerie, you have to choose one of them. Oprah Winfrey, Queen Latifah, Cary Kach. Who and why?
Cary Kach, 100%. Because he's such a pretty boy.
It's a great answer. The last segment we like to call Knock 'em Out or Buy 'em a Beer. We're going to have to go epic, somebody legendary. Arnold Schwarzenegger, knock 'em out or buy him a beer?
Buy him a beer, for sure.
Why?
Have you seen the movie Pumping Iron?
You heard it here first. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Burke. Now, Burke is a man of many talents, both on the football field and as the third member of the Gridiron Show. Shh, Coach, we're doing something here. But our next guest may have done something that even Burke won't be able to match. It's making a tackle, throwing a pass, and catching a pass all in the same play.
That's right, and this person is our guest in this week's fifth quarter segment, and there are few whose names are more synonymous with the green and gold. And that's why this is part 1 of 2 with CFL Hall of Famer, Mr. Hugh Campbell.
I wasn't into football until I was about 9 years old, and then parents took me to a 49er football game, and I thought that would be fun to play, and I started playing football with kids and working my way up, but I was never big enough to play real football until I was in high school, and so that's, I guess, was my official start. I went to Washington State University, and they wanted me to play pass receiver position for them, and they threw the football quite a bit. I thought, you know, I was the guy they recruited, and they put 11 of us at my position, and I looked like this was going to be a long line to, you know, to work your way into getting into a game. So it took a while, but eventually got to play, and, you know, things worked out. George Reed and I were on the same team, and Garner Ekstrand, but Garner and George Reed got to Regina ahead of me, and the coach kept saying, we got to find somebody that could catch the ball, and they went to the coach and said, you ought to get Hugh up there.
From Washington, the flanker, number 31, Hugh Campbell.
With their just telling the coach that he ought to get me up there, I got a phone call and went there, and I thought, well, I'll do this for a year or two and then get to coach a high school football, which was my long-term goal. Several good players arrived that year, including Ronnie Lancaster, who was a pretty good football player. So we all got there at the same time and started winning games towards the end of the season and made the playoffs. And everybody was excited like we had won the Grey Cup just making the playoffs. And then we went on through those playoffs all the way to the final game. In those days, there were 2 games in the semifinal of total points, and there were 2 out of 3 to go to the Grey Cup. And we played the game to go to the Grey Cup, and BC went, but we gained a lot of confidence, and that's when Saskatchewan kind of came on the map as a team that was a true threat to win the Grey Cup. Our Grey Cup win in '66 was it was even bigger than as players we realized that the town just really went nuts. We played a really good football game against Ottawa, and Ottawa was heavily favored, like 2 touchdown favorites, and we ended up winning by a couple touchdowns, and you know, everybody played well and did their job, and as football goes, usually the team that plays the best ends up winning, and in this particular day we pulled it off. And when we got back to Regina, the town just completely went nuts. The people were just beside themselves, and in the middle of the night on a cold night when we returned, they were all on their front lawns as the bus went from the airport back to the stadium. In those days, the tendency was towards hiring young coaches, and I had an opportunity to coach at Washington State where I had played, so I jumped at it and took that job and was an assistant coach and learned a whole lot. I realized how much I didn't know about football, and that went pretty well, and then I decided to take a head job at a small college, Whitworth College in Spokane, and once a year we were on TV, and all the time, weekly, our highlights and so on were on that TV in Spokane, and that television station came to Edmonton, and Norm Kimball, who was then in charge of the Eskimos, kind of liked what he saw, I guess, and asked if I would like to interview for a job in Edmonton. I thought, well, I'll do this for a couple of years. Coaches don't last long in the CFL, so it's not like a lifetime decision. So I figured, you know, we'd move there, pack light, not take much stuff, and get in an inexpensive home and you know, do what we could, and then I might be better prepared to go back and coach again, either high school or whatever in the States. I knew that fans were angry in Edmonton. Norm said, the reason I'm hiring you is I want a fresh start, and so he got that. And I came here, and we ended up going to the Grey Cup that first year, and that was played in Montreal against Montreal, and we lost that game. You know, it was devastating to lose, but we were also on a high because we had had some success and taken first place and then won the playoff game in order to go. So that was kind of the beginning, but we knew we had to keep rebuilding the team.
The Carl Hager Green and Gold Gridiron Show will be back after this.
Welcome back to the Carl Hager Green and Gold Gridiron Show. Now, before we move on, we'd like to remind you that there's a part 2 of this 5th quarter with Hugh Campbell, and it airs in just 2 weeks' time.
And in the time that Hugh was coaching, of course, the Eskimos were very used to winning 5 Grey Cups in 5 years. And this past Friday, the Eskies were kind of looking like the green and gold of old. So, of course, our cameras are on the sideline, as always, to catch all of the best action.
Today is an opportunity. It's an opportunity for growth. It's an opportunity to say, my character, my desire will rise above everything. When everyone buries you, when the dirt's over your grave, my character, my desire will rise above everything. When an adverse situation presents itself in this game, I will not defeat myself. I will rise. My character will rise. We all know the magnitude of this game. Nothing needs to be said about that. The only thing I'm going to ask you is your character strong enough to rise above it? Is it strong enough to answer the question? That's all I ask you. Don't worry about anything else. Worry about your character. Worry about your heart. And I don't question it. We've gone through a lot, guys. And we stand here in a moment where we can change it all in an instant. Let's take advantage of it. Let's go.
That does it for another episode on the Carl Hager Green and Gold Gridiron Show. Good job, Meg.
Good job, buddy.
And the Beavers. I figured they were even a bigger presence than you were on today's show. Hey. Make sure to catch us next Wednesday night, as always, Shaw TV, Channel 10, but not at our usual 7 p.m. We're going to be on 30 minutes earlier, 6:30, because of a WHL broadcast. If you can't catch us at that time, go online on esks.com or shawtv.ca, and make sure to visit all of our social media, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, or even tweet us at The Gridiron Show.
Now, with such a short season, every game counts, and the Eskimos can turn this into a winning streak this Saturday, 2 o'clock against the Riders. The beauty of it is, it's right here on Commonwealth turf. Corey and I are going to try to weasel our way into the tailgate section one more time and keep the good vibes going. Yes. You're welcome, Eskimos.
Absolutely, another W for you on our part. I don't know why, or even if you have a good excuse to miss this week's game, because it is going to be a big one. But if you do, you can always catch all the action on the Voice of the Eskimos, 6:30 CHED, or check your Shaw HD listings. We'll see you this weekend at the game. Woo!
The Carl Hager Green and Gold Gridiron Show is brought to you by Carl Hager Limb Brace, custom designed braces and foot orthotics manufactured in Edmonton.
Like you said, say, yo? Yo, everybody talk.
Real life gargoyle, people. It's my pet monster.